Good afternoon, and what is a warm, bright, and sunny day. It is Wednesday, the 9th of August. I've got a nice hot cup of tea and a box to continue unboxing. And what I have in here is Fateforged, Epic Tales in the World of Eana, Book 2 Grimmoire, which is published by Studio Agate, the French publisher best known for the role-playing game Shadows of Esteren, which combines Celtic myth and history with cosmic horror. So, discover the universe of Eana and its many unique civilizations, battle the loathsome forces of Canker, find the lost portals of the Travellers, and ascend to the stairs of the Fateforged. Grimmoire is the second book of the Fateforged series, centered on magic and spellcasters. It includes information on modular magic. The modular system lets you tailor the game to your favourite playstyle, from epic unbridled fantasy to a more subdued and down-to-earth atmosphere. You will find rules related to critical success on spellcasting, resurrection, spell modification, and more. Awakening. In the universe of Eana, only those who have awakened can cast spells. The chapter is dedicated to this concept and covers both its mysteries and dangers. Geomagic. This chapter details geomagic, the study of localized magic activity, and its fascinating manifestations which directly influence the area they affect. Corruption. Beware the perils of corruption, this rampant evil that transforms the body and mind of whoever is exposed to it. The powers it offers are tempting, but the risk of a monstrous downfall is very real. Spells. More than 360 spells, including many original ones, will allow you to explore all the aspects of magic, from powerful but demanding conjuration spells to dreadful corrupt spells. Appendices. Several game aids go over the core knowledge of any student of the Arcana or give a compiled information on spells. This part of the book also covers use of scrolls and provides a list of common potions of Eana. So this is the second volume in the series, specifically detailing its magic. So presumably book 3 will be a bestiary or something of that kind. I shall look forward to that. So, open up, and we have the frontispiece, and credits, and a table of contents. Basically starts off, we've got this great artwork from the start, as you would expect from Studio Agate. So the artwork in Shadows of Esteren is excellent. So quite a lengthy table of contents, organised essentially more by it's more of it's more of a contents, an index page than a contents page. Anyway, forward, and then we've got a breakdown of the modular system, which looks at how magic is tied to actions: awakening, corruption, darkness, dragons, elusive magic, gritty, intrigue, life lock, magic lock, mind lock, mysteries, and these are the icons which are going to be used throughout to indicate the types of magic being discussed in each section. So you go through, essentially you choose what you want. You want to include action and corruption. Make sure that's in there along with darkness. Great. And you're using those elements. You definitely want to use those elements in there, or perhaps you don't, and you want to, basically say, no, I'm not going to use that because it's tied in between the particular aspects. So, start with discussing the laws of magic and how to use magic, characteristics of spell, elusive magic, what is a spell, spell level, and so on. Even from the start, talking about corrupt magic. And then known and preferred spells, spell slots, how to expend spells, spell slot, casting spells at higher levels, and so on. Cantrips and rituals are all discussed. Essentially, setting the reader, player, and dungeon master up ahead of time. How to cast a spell, including casting in armor, how long it takes. Essentially breaking down the elements of you've got in the classic Dungeons and Dragons style spell description at the top of each spell. So includes components, whether verbal, semantic, material, and so on. This really sort of like gets into sort of like the mechanics and nature of spellcasting in a game like Dungeons and Dragons. So areas of effect with a really nice fetching illustration there of a room being filled with flame, presumably just sort of having cast fireball or something. But we've got even better illustrations here. So these are really great. I mean, you know, they really help visualize it. So, you know, cone, square, cylinder, circle, or sphere, just or line, you know, they're all there. That's fantastic. Effects of magic on the environment. And then we get into the schools of magic and the beginnings of a look at the lessons for academia. So abjuration, conjuration, divination, enchantment, evocation, illusion, necromancy, and transmutation. And with that also discusses arcane specialists, and then it accords light of magic, hues by school, and living magic, bringing that into play. So lots of options, you know, really getting down into the nitty-gritty of it, including critical magic, critical hits and misses for your magic casting, and then I suggested insidious changes brought about by magic and back from the dead, you know, how a resurrection spell can work, modifying spells, new reactions related to magic, identifying a spell, human shield, heroic rescues, awakening. So this is the key idea in the game, that you have to be awakened to use magic. So this becomes sort of like as much a narrative device as a mechanical one. You know, and it's possible to start a class without awakened features. So you're playing without magic, and so essentially, you know, so it looks at the individual classes which aren't normally awakened, I suppose, barbarian, rogue, fighter, scholar, and so on. And even discusses the possibility of losing one's awakening, losing your magic, before we go on to geomagic and localized magical phenomena. So you've got really quite a really detailed and interesting discussion here, I think, of types of magic and how they work in this setting. Even things like arcane aridity or deficiency, and options just around all of this. Dampening magic, dead magic, the ethereal border, and gateway to the dead. So here we stretch beyond sort of like into the realms a little bit. I've got discussion of some of them. Even temporal distortion, overdosing on magic, or having a thaumaturgic halo, and then one of the dangers of casting magic is madness. So we have madness effects, so short-term, long-term, and indefinite madness tables. And the insidious suggestions of madness and how to cure it, before we move on to corruption. How to use corruption in your campaign, and its nuances, how to portray it, and the mysteries of corruption. And primarily that's going to be really for use with NPCs, you know, to really go down the path of corruption, but doesn't mean your player characters can't do it and suffer the consequences. Discussion of sources of corruption. Actually, you know, this is all tied to the influence of loathsome forces of canker. So we've got cankerous feats, effects of temporary corruption and permanent corruption. And there are boons to be gained and drawbacks as well from the canker. So that includes cankerous vigour, critical corruption, corpse defiler, corrupt polymorph. These are going to be interesting and fun to explore, and even play. You know, whether that's with your dungeon master for an NPC, or even play a character if they go down that path. And here we have the list of cankerous drawbacks. And then we have sacrilegious apostasy. So you know, the idea of sort of like paladins and clerics being pulled into being inveigled by the forces of the canker. And then knowledge of the means of purifying corruption. There is a possibility of coming back, but I should expect it's going to be going to need a heroic effort. Basically, and doing so will put the player character on the path to redemption. So that's all part one. Part two is the spell compendium. So interactive compendium, and we do have sort of like the different locks there, the different icons there tied to particular spells. So magic lock, mind lock, life lock, and so on. Corruption, and then we get on to the list of spells. So yeah, we start off with Acid Arrow, and Acid Blob, Acid Splash, Animal Messenger, Alter Self, Animal Friendship, and lots and lots of them. So you know, literally, so Core Lightning, Calm Emotions. I know I'm just flipping forward through these because it Dancing Lights, Dark Vision, mixture of classic and new. All the way down to let me just find the beginning. So here we go. So more than half of the book. The book itself is 320 pages long, page 108 to 280. So that's just under that. That's 172 pages dedicated to spells. So about half the book is just spell lists, all the way down to Zone of Truth and Word of Recall. And then references have got essentially got abbreviations. Goes briefly back over the modular system and how to apply that to create a game style. So you know, you've got sort of like a full list there to show you that in a bit more detail. Magical lexicon, so reference work for the whole book and in game as well. List of spells by class. So bard spells, cleric spells, druid spells, paladin spells, ranger spells, wizard spells, and so on. And then we have list of spells by school of magic. Then a list of the corrupt spells. Common alchemical potions. And yeah, that is it. That's Fateforged, Epic Tales of the Fate and the World of Eana, Book 2, Grimmoire. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this unboxing in the Nook. If you have, then please do click on the like button down below. And if you've got any comments or feedback, I do appreciate you taking the time to post those. And lastly, if you want to be able to get more unboxings of the Nook, where you'll see me out here with a box containing a book or game, which I will unbox and chat about to the best extent of my knowledge for roughly 10 minutes or so, all of course accompanied by a nice hot cup of tea. then please do click on the subscribe button down below. Thanks again for watching another unboxing the Nook. We'll be back again soon with another one. Bye for now.